So you're ready to sell your home here in Dalton, Georgia, and cash in on that investment is a smart move, and you and hundreds of your neighbors are likely thinking the same thing. For most people, this is the single biggest financial decision of their lives. But here's the thing. The Dalton market has its own rhythm, and a few common missteps could easily cost you tens of thousands of dollars. I see it happen all the time. A seller is understandably attached to their home. They set a price based on emotion and then crickets. The house just sits there, or they decide to skip some simple fixes that Dalton buyers have come to expect, and all they get are low ball offers that frankly feels like an insult. It's a frustrating spot to be in, and it can suck all the excitement out of moving forward. It really doesn't have to be that way. I want to walk you through the costliest blunders I see sellers make right here in Dalton and give you a clear plan to sidestep them. I'm Josselin Iraheta, Realtor with eXp Realty. Book a Calendly Call with me if you're thinking of selling sometime in the future. My goal is to help you sell your home faster with way less stress for the absolute best price the market will support. Let's get to it. First things first. Let's tackle the single biggest and most expensive mistake I see sellers make in Dalton. Pricing the home based on feelings, not on facts. This is without a doubt the fastest way to sabotage your own sale. Look, we all love our homes. We built memories there. We pour our sweat and money into them. We all have a magic number in our head that we feel our home is worth. But here's the tough love. Buyers don't pay for your memories. They pay for market value. An overpriced home is the number one reason a property goes stale on the market. So, what is Dalton's market actually telling us right now? In June of 2025, the median sale price was around $301,000, which was down 6.7% from last year. At the same time, the average time it takes to sell has crept up, with some homes sitting on the market for about 40 to 59 days. This tells us that the market is cooling off and becoming more balanced. The frenzy is over. In this type of market, pricing your home correctly from day one isn't just a good idea, it's everything. When a home is priced too high, a savvy buyer and their agent often don't even bother booking a showing. Why? Because they assume the seller isn't serious. As the property sits, the days on the market, numbers climb, and buyers start to think, what's wrong with that place? Why hasn't anyone bought it? That stigma almost always, leads to price cuts. And the painful part is you often end up selling for less than you would have if you would price it right from the start. The solution is to take off your homeowner hat and put on your business owner hat. The best tool for this is a comparative market analysis, or a CMA. This isn't a wild guess. It's a detailed report that looks at what similar homes in your specific Dalton neighborhood have actually sold for recently. It's not based on a Zillow's estimate or what your neighbor heard their cousin's house went for. It's based on cold, hard data. Trusting the data over your gut is the first, most critical step to a successful sale. The second major blunder is failing to get your home ready for buyers. This mistake is a classic two-sided coin. You can either do too little or you can do way too much. Both can hit you in the wallet. Let's start with doing too little. Someone might think the market is decent. Someone will buy it as is. That might have worked in a frantic seller's market, but it's not the reality in today's more balanced Dalton market. With more homes to choose from, buyers are looking for a house that feels loved. When they see a dripping faucet, a loose doorknob, or scuffed walls, they don't just see it as tiny repairs. They see a pattern of neglected, and their mind immediately leaps into, I wonder what else is wrong that I can't see. These little issues are deal killers. They're red flags for deferred maintenance, and they give buyers the perfect excuse to write a lowball offer, citing all the work they'll have to put in. The fix isn't a massive renovation. It's about being strategic. Walk through your house with critical eye and make a list. Fix the nagging little things. A fresh coat of neutral paint works wonders. Make sure every single light bulb is working, and your home needs to be cleaner than it ever has been. Decluttering isn't a suggestion. Maybe you've heard the saying, clutter eats equity. Decluttering is a requirement. Buyers need to see themselves in your space, not be distracted by your personal photos and belongings. Now, for the other extreme, over improving, some sellers convince themselves that dropping $30,000 on a new kitchen will magically add $30,000 to the sale price. I wish it were true, but that's rarely how it works. Major taste-specific renovations don't usually give you 100% of return on your investment. Buyers want a functional kitchen. Sure, they might hate your choice of granite. Your dream kitchen could be the first thing they plan to tear out. The secret is to focus on repairs and light, neutral updates that appeal to the widest audience. Your goal is to eliminate any reason for a buyer to say no. You're not decorating your forever home. You're prepping a product for a competitive market. Blunder number 3 is a mistake that is just a non-starter in today's world. Bad marketing, specifically terrible photos. Well over 90% of buyers start their home search online. Their first impression isn't made at the curb. It is made while they're scrolling on a phone or computer. Think of it this way. Your photos are your home's online dating profile. If you have a dark, blurry, crooked smartphone pictures, you're actively telling qualified buyers to swipe left. They'll assume the house is just as disappointing in person and won't even give it a second thought. I have seen beautiful, well-priced homes get ignored simply because the photos were an injustice. It screams that the seller isn't serious or might even be hiding something. The solution is simple and it has one of the best returns on investment you can make. Hire a professional real estate photographer. This is not a luxury. It's a basic requirement. A pro understands lighting, angles, and composition to make every room look its best. Great photos grab attention, get you more clicks, leads to more showings, and ultimately bring in higher offers. Presentation also includes the showing itself. A classic mistake is having the seller hang around during a showing. You think you're being helpful, but your presence there makes buyers feel awkward and rushed. They feel like they're intruding and can't speak honestly with their agent. They need the freedom to open closets and mentally arrange their furniture without feeling watched. The best thing you can do for a showing is to turn on the lights, make sure the house smells fresh, and then leave. Let your agent and the house do the talking. If you're finding this advice helpful and you're thinking about selling your home in Dalton area, do me a favor and hit that like button and subscribe. And if you're interested on how I can help you sell your home in Dalton, Georgia, book a Calendly call with me. The link is in the description. The fourth blunder that can quietly kill a sale is simply being inflexible. Let's be real. Selling a home disrupts your life. It means keeping the house show ready all the time, which is exhausting. It means getting a call that a buyer wants to see the place in an hour, and you have to scramble to get the kids and the dog out the door. Sellers who are too rigid with showing times are shooting themselves in the foot. If you only allow showings on Saturdays, you're cutting out a huge of potential buyers who can only look during their lunch break or on Tuesday afternoon. The more people who can see your home, the better your chances of getting a great offer. It's a numbers game. Flexibility is just as important when an offer comes in. In a balanced market like Dalton's, you're not likely to get a full price offer with zero conditions right out of the gate. An offer is the start of a negotiation, not the end. A seller who takes a lower offer as a personal insult instead of a starting point is their own worst enemy. You have to be ready for some back and forth. This doesn't mean taking a bad deal, but it means being willing to come back with a reasonable counteroffer. An agent who can manage this process for you without emotion is the greatest asset here. Remember, the goal is to get the home sold so you can move on. A little inconvenience and a willingness to have a conversation can be the difference between a for sale sign and a sold sign. The final blunder can not only blow up a deal at the 11th hour, but could also land you in a legal hot water, trying to hide potential inspection issues or known problems. A lot of sellers live in fear of the home inspection, crossing their fingers that nothing major turns up. But hope is not a strategy. A much smarter move is to get ahead of it with a pre-listing inspection. For a few hundreds of dollars, you can hire your own inspectors to give you the full report before the house even goes on the market. This puts you in the driver's seat. You can then choose to fix the issues up front, taking them off the table for negotiations, or you can disclose the known issues and price the home accordingly, which shows buyers you're being transparent and builds a massive amount of trust. What you absolutely cannot do is hide a known problem. In Georgia, sellers are legally required to disclose any known material defects about the property. Trying to cover up an old roof leak or a glitchy HVAC system is a recipe for disaster. If the buyer's inspector finds it, they're likely to walk away assuming you're dishonest. Even worse, if they found out after the sale, you could be looking at a lawsuit. Being transparent and proactive about your home's condition is always the winning strategy. It prevents last minute surprises, makes negotiations smoother, and protects you legally. It gives the buyers the confidence that you've got nothing to hide. So when you put it all together, pricing based on data, prepping the house strategically, using amazing photos, staying flexible, and being upfront about the home's condition, you have a winning formula. Selling a home is a huge deal, but it doesn't have to be a nightmare of stress. By dodging these common pitfalls, you put your home in the best possible position to attract the right buyers, sell in a good amount of time, and most importantly, walk away with the most money in your pocket. You aren't just selling a building, you're making a strategic financial move, and every detail matters. If you're thinking about selling your home in Dalton or the surrounding areas and are ready to take the next step, you need a clear, data-driven picture of what your home is worth in today's market. I offer a comprehensive, no-obligation home valuation and consultation. We can sit down, crunch the numbers, and build a specific plan that's tailored to your home and your goals. All of my contact info is in the description below. Give me a call or send me an email today, and let's get you on your next chapter. Thanks for watching. I am Josselin Iraheta with eXp Realty, serving Dalton and surrounding areas.